Hey everybody, it's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada, which is a suburb of Vancouver. So hope you can join me today. I'm just going to wait and see who's joining me. I just have to get all my little cameras set up. And I can see your comments. Keisha, there you are. Hello, big hello, capital hello. Hello. I'm just going to go over and see what's happening on my other screen. Let's make sure that we've got sound. And I think we do. Great, we do. Hi, Cindy. Oh, great. We've got, we're live. Yay. Well, it's finally a beautiful day. My cat was on the keyboard. She likes the cats. Yeah. My dog is huge. My dog is a lab, and so 85 pounds, so he won't be jumping up on my desk. But everybody I know that has cats or small dogs say the same thing. Or my daughter, who works from home right now, just because of COVID, still in Toronto, her cat literally lies across the keyboard. But a funny story, while we wait for people to come, my daughter's company where she works, because they've been working at home, everyone has pets. And so she works for a gaming company, like a company that produces video games, famous video games. But anyway, on the last game that they released, in the credits, they have everybody's name that worked on the game. And then they had all their pets named too. So I thought that was they're really a great company. So I thought that was really cute. So Oreo got her name in the credits because, they helped. And when they have staff meetings on Zoom, they all hold up their pets. And it's a great company. So it's kind of a cute story. Okay, who else have we got? Just Keisha and Cindy so far. Nobody else? Okay. I know it's not a great story. It is a really, I have to say, it's an exceptional company. And she's fortunate because not all companies are like that, but it's quite fun. Well, today we're going to be playing with the Hues of Happiness. And it's a great suite. Hi, Pauline. Oh, you're back home. Gosh, you must be tired still. That's such a long way. But I'm glad to see you. Welcome back. And at least you came home to nice weather because you didn't miss anything when you were away, let me tell you. Anyway, we're going to be playing with the Hues of Happiness, which is that gorgeous, I'm going to put this over here, which is that gorgeous suite of products on the front page of the annual catalog. Hi, Donna. How you doing? I'm having a class using Hues of Happiness. Now, in my catalog launch party, which is this weekend, I have a Hues of Happiness class. But that's just open for the attendees of the launch. I also have my regular Border Buddy class that I do with my Border Buddy from Minnesota, Patsy Waggoner. And I'm going to be showing you a card from that class today. And they're different than the ones that we're going to be making on Sunday. So if you're registered for Sunday, it's a totally different class, and I'll talk about that. And then the other thing is 50% off of the second kit that you purchase. So BOGO for the kits collection. So buy one, get one 50% off. So if you guys haven't, some of you are demonstrators, but if you haven't been to the to my store, shopcrazywithallison.com, head over and click on the kits collection. And there's so many fabulous kits. And the great thing about them is they come with everything you need, including an acrylic block, ink, a stamp set that you can use over and over, materials to make the cards, and adhesives. All you need is a pair of scissors. And they're really reasonably priced for what you get. So go over and check those out. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. That's great. All right, let's get started. Let's stamp some stuff. So we're going to be, if you hear a little clink, it's my water cup. And I just needed some water today. So we're going to be using this gorgeous set that's called, let's get over here, Hues of Happiness. Here we are, which is on page 108 and 109 in the catalog. And it is gorgeous. There's so many beautiful products that are included, including, let me show you some of them. Here. Sorry guys, I hit my keyboard. I don't even have a cat, Keisha, and my keyboard went nuts. Sorry about that. I'll blow your ears out. So this gorgeous designer series paper. I mean, isn't this stunning? Look at this. All these beautiful patterns. Let me spread it out, 12 by 12. So you know the drill, we get 2 of each, 6 by 6. And of course they're double-sided. So let's flip them over. So really, oops, really gorgeous designs. Hi, Cookie. Nice to see ya. So that's the paper in that beautiful suite. Just put that down. And, okay, and then we're also going to be playing with the Happiness Abounds stamp set. Okay, and the Blossoming Happiness dies. Okay, so bundle, 10% off when you buy a bundle. Awesome. So let me show you what we're going to be talking about today. Every month, Patsy Waggoner, my border buddy, we have kind of evolved into different roles, which has been good. We used to each make 3 cards for our PDFs. And now Patsy's taken that role on and I do all the lives. So just to mention that I serve Canada and you guys know where to find me. Patsy serves the United States. She lives in Minnesota and we have been border buddies for, I don't know, 10 years or more. And we do a lot of things together. And one of them is we provide a PDF for anybody who orders from our stores. And what she does is prepare 6 cards using the suite that we've picked for the month. Then I offer a class using 4 of the cards from the PDF. Okay, so the class is only $22. It comes with everything you need. You have to provide the stamps and dies and whatnot, but everything else is included. And that includes postage. If you, you can also just buy the PDF. The PDF is $12 or earn it free if you make a purchase. So that's kind of how we do it. So what I wanted to show you today was taking one of the cards from our PDF. Here we go. This is card number 5. You can see that. I'll just hold it up a bit. And so we include the picture, and then we've got the measurements for the paper and the directions. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. The actual PDF also includes all the supplies on the front page. So everything that you need for all the cards is on the front page. So it's easy to find. So what I thought we'd do today is just show you how you can approach this if you join the class or if you get the PDF for free or you purchase the PDF. So let's start. So the first thing I did was I went and grabbed a piece of basic white and I've cut it to 8.5 by 5.5, which is what Patsy has here. I've scored it at 4 1/4, and I'm just looking for my, I always lose my bone folder. It's here when before I start, and then it disappears. Then I find it at the end. Oh well, that's okay. I'll find it. Oh, there it is, hiding behind my ruler. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Janet. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. So that's the card base, and then I need a 2.5 by 2.5 to stamp a flower, and then I need a 2 by 2 3/4 to stamp my leaves. Okay. And then I need a basic black for my words here. And then I need my Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. Okay, so all of that is already ready here because I've got it ready before we started today. Okay, so if you were to purchase the class, you would get everything already cut for you. Okay, or if you earned the PDF for free, then you would just cut it for yourself. Hope that makes sense. Hi, Helen. Hi, Kathy. Who else? Hi, Gail. Oh, gosh, you're all popping on. Excellent. All right. So that's the designer series paper that we've picked. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. It looks like, you know, you've taken like a palette and just, you know, like, what am I trying to say? Like paint palette and spread out that beautiful color. It's gorgeous. Okay. Now, I've got my black here, and I'm going to make sure I cut this right. I just have this weird feeling. So that's 3 1/4 by 2. Hey, so that's correct. Now, what I'm going to do is I would probably, we all learn differently, right? So some people like to look at a picture and just kind of go for it. Some people like to read through all the directions. Some people like a sample in front of them. But what I'm going to do today is not something I would usually do, but I want to show you that when you get the directions, how easy it is to create. Okay. So number 1, score the basic white cardstock at 4 1/4 and crease to form your card base. Check. Okay, that was easy. Then we're going to take our piece of designer series paper, and it calls for the Parakeet Party Baker Twine, which comes in the 2022-2024 in color Baker Twine pack. Oh, that's a mouthful. So we're just going to take some of this and wrap it around. And Patsy's really good with her directions because she says about 1 1/2 inches from the left side. Okay, so we're going to do that, but I'm not measuring. I'm just doing about, the word about. So approximately 1 1/2 inches. And I bet you that's pretty close. Trim that off. Drywall. That's what the word I was looking for, Cindy. Thank you. Drywall. Yes. Like smearing on drywall. Got it. So she says about 1 1/2 inches. That looks pretty good to me. But you know what? We'll just measure. Yeah, it's about 1 1/2. All right. Next up, move it over a titch. All right. Now, number 3, glue the designer series paper to the card front. Okay, well, that sounds easy. My glue hasn't run out. Let's try that. Okay. Well, the weather has improved here, hasn't it, you guys? Hallelujah. I don't know. I think we all had a rough spring. It was pretty grim. It looks like everything's starting to settle now, and the flowers are starting to bloom. My peonies are starting to open, so that's exciting. All right, stamp the words in Versamark ink towards the left-hand side of the basic black cardstock. Okay, so here's our basic black cardstock. I'm going to use my embossing buddy. Now, I found this one in my drawer, and it's so big and plump and fat. I love it. But if you don't have one, or you have one that looked like my old one, which was basically empty, you can use a Swiffer. That'll help you. So we're going to just do that just to take the oil from our fingers off the cardstock, okay? Because we only want the words sticking to the embossing powder sticking to our words. So we're going to ink up, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. And she said to do it towards the left side. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then she says to apply white embossing powder. So we'll do that. Okay, flick that. And we'll recapture all of this back into, ooh, I don't want that in all the way back into my little tub. Okay. All right, next up, we're going to need our heat tool. So let's grab that, pick that up. The sniffles today. Something must be blooming that's bugging me. I have this plant in my backyard that blooms at this time. Well, it's a little late. It's supposed to bloom earlier. And it's very pretty, but I think it just causes me to have just a little nasal drip. Okay, so that's our piece. Now what's next? We want to die cut the top and bottom with the long dash die from the Blossoming Happiness dies. Okay, so that's this one here. It's the die with all the little dashes. I've put on, you probably can't see it because it's sort of rubbing off, but I put on a little arrow that showed me which way to place that. So you want to place that this way. So you've got because this piece here cuts it, okay? And I want to tape that down only because it's going, this is sort of, what's the word, warped a little bit because of the heat. Okay, so let's get our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, thank you for sharing my video. And welcome from North Dakota. So you're kind of North Dakota. So you're not that far from Minnesota, right? Aren't you just kind of above Minnesota? I'm trying. I'm guessing because, of course, I'm Canadian, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Because I know my friend Patsy Waggoner, who is the demonstrator, my border buddy in Minnesota. She tells me it's not that far, I don't think. I think her husband grew up on a farm there, and they go there all the time. Hi, Kathy. Oh, thank you for sharing, you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go through. And isn't that great? It makes this little, get rid of those little black things. Doesn't that look great? It's like a little, almost like a little film strip, right? And then the instructions say repeat it on the other side. So we want to move that down there, tape that down, and run that through. Fingers crossed. Okay. Just to make sure. You know how you have one of the, where I was talking and then I'm thinking, wait a second. Have you got that straight? Because that would help if it was straight. Okay. Here we go. Back in. Let's run that through. I always put my Border Buddy Patsy's information on my video. Like for today, you'll see it once this video is recorded and you want to go back and watch it. I always put her store and her information there too. So if you're not from Canada, you can check her out. Okay, so that's our piece. So that's all we have to do with that. Okay. Move that. What's next on the instructions? Next, we want to stamp the flowers and leaves on a basic white in tuxedo black ink. And we're using Memento ink because we want to color it with Stampin' Blends. So we need to use a water-based ink for our alcohol blends. Okay, so that's our, ooh, that looks funny. It's got like a little, it's got like a little fuzz on it or something. I'm going to stamp it again just to see if I can get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. That's better. And then we want to stamp a leaf. So this one, there's a couple of leaves in here in the stamp set. One is a two-leaf leaf. And the other one is a 5-leaf branch. Okay. All right. Let's just let that set for a sec because I like to let it set before I start coloring. I'm also going to bring in a grid sheet here because when you color with alcohol inks, they tend to go through. So let me just cut the one off that I don't want to color. I won't be distracted. There we go. Okay, excellent. That's color. So Patsy says to use the Parakeet Party and the Fresh Freesia inks to color our images. Okay, now there's no right or wrong for this. Oh, hi, Mo. It does look like a film strip. Yeah. Oh, you're from Nanaimo. Hi, Dorothy. Okay, so I tend to start with my dark color first and then blend with the light, but everybody does it differently and there is no wrong. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to say. So I'm going to take my flower and I tend to use the dark end here and I'm just going on the part of the leaf that I think would be turned up, the sort of the underside of the leaf, because that tends to be a leaf of the petal, because that tends to be darker in nature anyway. And again, this is not about being precise. It's just about layering down color. And I'm not too worried if I go outside the lines either, because I'm going to be cutting this out with the matching die. So I don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so we're doing that. Okay. And then this is the dark one, right? So I want to, just on some of these, I want to just go around the outside very, very lightly, meaning not too thick a line, just to add some depth around the outside of these petals. Okay. Squeak. Okay. Oops. That one's on sort of an underside, and that's sort of an underside. And then let's give it some color in the middle. Just a little bit like that. So it kind of looks rough, doesn't it? It looks kind of like, ooh. But once you start blending, it'll be great. Okay. Now let's take our light one, and I'm going to use the more of the brush tip, and you want to be flat. You don't want to be like this. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. Squeak, 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 squeak. There's something, I don't know, I like about the squeaking, but I know, there's people, it's like nails on a chalkboard, right? Just bugs them. Janet, you should be happy we're using purple. Not a dark purple, but a nice purple. Now, once you blend this all in, you just let it sit for a minute, and you'll start to see that it literally blends. Okay. And, well, you can watch later, Mo. Nobody's ever late. Hi, Linda. Okay, I'm going to go back in and just add a little bit of, for those that are joining late, what we're doing is a card, but I'm illustrating how we create a PDF for our classes and our free PDF for purchases, and how easy it is to follow the directions to make the cards. Okay, so this is one of the cards from Hues of Happiness, which is our June PDF. Okay, now everyone's up to date. Okay, so like that, and this is normal. You will have the bleeding through to the back. Okay, let's bring this in. Let's grab that dark one, and I'm going to use the solid end here, not the brush end. And see what I did there? I just went around the outside. Okay, I'm not doing anything other than that. These are quite small images, so you don't have to do anything really exciting. Just do that, and then go back to your light one and just blend that in. And you can keep layering the ink on. You can do it as many times as you want till you feel comfortable with the color. Okay. Okay, now you probably can't see the difference in the colors, but there is. There's a dark, and then the light is blended in. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, super. Now we want to bring back our mini boss. Hi. Oh, I said hi to Helen already, didn't I? Yeah. Hi again. This time we're going to cut these out with the coordinating dies. Okay. So we've got our flower, and to line up this one, there's a part of this die that's got, I don't know, it's almost like a little parentheses. And I know that lines up with that little piece on my flower. So that is where I start, and it's really easy for me to line it up. I used to go around and around. It's like, like round and round. Anyway, that's what I do on this particular die. And you could even mark it with a little black sticker. I'm using tape to hold this down. If I was doing this by myself, I probably wouldn't need to, but because I'm on camera, and because, let's put this here, the embossing machine is a little bit further away from me than it would normally be if I was just stamping in my office by myself, because I've got it in within the camera view. So that's all. That's the reason. But sometimes it's nice to just keep things in place. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think I can stick that on the end. Look at that. I'm going to go for a 3 for. Yay. Okay. And flatten that up. stick that down. We've got our plate number 3, our plate number 2, our paper dies plate number 2. Okay, let's run that through. I don't know. Embossing is one of my favorite things, like when we emboss the words. But my second favorite is using the die cutting machine. I love die cutting. It was such a game changer when Stampin' Up! Added it to their product line quite a few years ago now. But we were at convention and they announced it and everybody was like so excited. It was really fun. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so here we go. Here's all our bits. Now what we want to do now is figure out where we want our flower. And I think that sort of looks like the correct way. And then we've got some leaves. I'm just going to turn this over and I'm going to use a very scientific product. Scotch tape. I just find it's easier for me. You can use a glue dot too, those work. But I just use my Scotch tape. Okay, and then I want one down here. Okay. All right. All right, so that's those. Now let's go back to our piece that we embossed earlier. Here it is. So we're going to lay that on that. So let me get my glue. And glue that down. Just position it. Looks good to me. And turn that over. Now we've got some glue there, but that's okay. It'll dry. And I want to pop this up on my card. Okay, so let's put some dimensionals on there. And I always say the great thing about my liquid glue is that it allows you to play with something and it doesn't stick right away, but that's also a negative because before it dries, it's moving around. So we've got to be just careful. Okay, here's our card that we started earlier, and we're just going to pop that down. Oops, make sure that that remains straight. Okay, and there we go. So where is our instructions? Here they are. Here's our instructions. So isn't that great? So she also said, stamp happy birthday in tuxedo black inside the card. So we can do that with the stamps. So I guess I should do that because these are great to make a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Let's grab it. Best wishes. Sometimes you have to read things backwards and upside down, right? Friend, where's my happy birthday? Got congratulations. This isn't good. Best wishes. Happy birthday. Well, that's weird. Oh, here it is. It's longer than I thought. I thought it was like a little tiny thing, but it's long. Okay. So if you've got a grid sheet, it's really great. You can just lay this on the grid sheet, your photopolymer, because you can see it, and line it up on a line so then it'll be straight, although you can see when you go to stamp it. But I like to do it like that. And because my surface here has these lines, I tend to use those. All right, let's go. Now, this is making the card exactly like Patsy designed it. Okay, here's happy birthday. And she also, although she hasn't mentioned it, but can you see, let's just grab this. Can you see that she's got the envelope decorated too? And you know what? I do that in a very non-scientific way. So let me grab an envelope. I didn't think I was going to do this, but talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. I'm going to get an envelope because I want to show you how to do it. Okay? So, envelope. Okay. Here I am, back. Okay, so we got one of our beautiful envelopes. Now, our classes come with everything you need to create the 4 cards, and they come with the envelopes. So, okay, let's put a nice design on the back. So let me grab some of this fantastic paper. What's she got there? She's got that one that's got the sort of pinky in it, doesn't she? I might have used that one. Oh, it kind of looks like this one, doesn't it? Let me see. Yeah, I actually think that's a bit too bold for what I want. I'm going to stick with the nice purples and pinks because they go together. Okay, so what you want to do when you're doing a nice envelope flap is you want to measure the length and width of your envelope. So this one is, we're even going to need about a 6-inch strip, and we're going to need it to be about 2, and I'm going to go 2.5. Now, if I were doing this by myself, I'd probably just do it 2 1/4, but I don't want to be too short when I'm teaching you guys how to do it. Okay, so we need it to be 2.5. Okay, let's do that. And then we need it to be 6 inches. So let's do that. I guess this is the one she used. Should never doubt Patsy. Patsy knows what she is doing. All right. Now what you want to do is we want to glue this onto our flap. Okay. And then once we finish gluing it on, then we can go and just cut this off. Okay. So I'm going to apply my glue to my actual flap, because if I put it on the paper, you know what's going to happen, right? You're going to have it on places that expand over the ends. So let me make sure that I've got this going the right way, or what I think is the right way. There is no right way. They're both the right way. I'm going to glue that on just up to the edge. There we go. Isn't it pretty? Some people like to stamp on the front of the envelope. That's pretty too. That's got it. That looks nice when you stamp something here. And let's grab our scissors. And then it's just a question of trimming this off. And it doesn't need to be perfect. But what a difference that makes too on the envelope, right? Just pretty. Like I say, don't worry too much about whether it's absolutely perfect, because it's going to look fantastic. Okay. There we go. So that's what Patsy did there. So that's the envelope, and that's the card. Okay, so how was that? That was pretty great, right? Pretty easy to recreate our cards following the instructions and the measurements. Now, I want to show you something else. Oh, forgot the last thing that says right here. Add one of the large, gorgeous, great glossy dots to the center. Sorry. Here is the glossy dots. Aren't they gorgeous? And we're going to grab the, oh, look at that gorgeous grape. Oops. Normally I use my take a pick, but I don't know where it is at the moment. So we're just going to use the end of our scissors. There we go. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, let's move all of this out of the way so you can see what we're doing here. And let's move this out. Now I want to show you something really fun. So that was stamping, coloring, cutting out with the dies. But the actual designer series paper can also be cut out with the dies. I know. It's like fantastic. You can cut all of these flowers and the leaves with the dies. So again, you just lay this on and run it through. So this is the one I'm going to have to go around and around till I find where it goes. I think that's how it goes. That cuts that flower out. Isn't that great? Now, let me show you. I've made the card again, but instead of cutting, stamping, coloring, and cutting it out, I have just used the paper from the designer series paper to get the exact same effect. So there we go. This just depends. If you're in a hurry, you can just cut it out. If you like to color, you can color it. And we've got our envelope. Okay. So that's our card for today. Cards. Oh, bring it down. I'm always at a screen. There we go. So fun. That designer series paper is fantastic because it comes in all, there's so many different colors. Pool Party and Freesia and Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape. It's just so many beautiful colors that are included in the pack, and which gives you a lot of options when you're making flowers and cutting flowers. Thanks, you guys. You have to get ready for work. Sharon is in Perth, Australia. So she's in the morning tomorrow as we're winding up her day. She's starting her day. Have a good day, Sharon. All right, you guys, any other questions? Oh, hi, Jacqueline. So glad you popped on. Just watch the rerun, the replay. You can do that. All right, so I'll see you guys again on Sunday at 10 a.m. for another card. And if you have any questions in the meantime, please just write them here and I'll answer them for you. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me. I always appreciate you taking time out of your busy days to come create with me on Wednesdays and Sundays. So thanks again. Have a great rest of the evening. Bye for now.